All right, thanks for staying with us. We're back and it's Crossfire with Dapo and Ishioma. We're back today on the screen to let you know exactly what is going on in our country. We have two very robust and in-depth analysts on the studio, in the studio with us this morning, and we'll quickly meet them as we have a very good conversation this morning on the show. We'll be looking at a very interesting topic that is trending, and that is considering the legislative and the executive relationship vis-a-vis 2018 budget. What is their resolve? Do you think everything will work together to actually make sure that the executive arm of government, the type of relationship or based on the relationship that is existing between them, will the legislative take time out to actually pass the budget 2018 appropriation bill as expected by the executive? Now, don't forget that we already know that the executive has already resolved to ensure that the budget year is returned to January as start date and December as end date for the budget year. All right, considering all of this, we're going to be talking to these two gentlemen and we're going to be doing justice to the topic on the show. First on my list and on my right is our very own, very good political analyst. I laughed because I always love his analogy and his analysis. Let's meet Alexa Wilcox. Good to have you on the show.
Thanks for joining. That will always be on the spot. Good morning, esteemed viewers.
All right.
You will not be here.
Yes, so, all right. We have another very interesting guest on the show, and it's no other person. He's a political analyst, he's a social commentator also, and I love his position on national matters too. He's no other person but Avi. Good to have you on the show.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining.
Good to have you.
Yeah,
well,
I
should have done that. I didn't do this. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, let's talk about Nigeria as usual. But before we go deep into that, Wazobia TV and Wazobia Max is 3. And so you must have been seeing a lot of, celebration on our platform. And it's just a very good thing. We're so happy that in 3 years we have gone this far, that in 3 years we have covered this milestone, that in these 3 years we have done so much as a body, as a television station. And we want to say a very big thank you to all our viewers out there. And at the same time, say a very big thank you to all our guests that has made our platform so very rich. And so at the same time, we will not lose sight of the fact that we have fantastic and wonderful support from many brands, who are part of our celebration. We say a very big thank you to Indomie. We say a very big thank you to Mini Me Chin Chin. We say a very big thank you to Hypo and Power Oil. I love the Power Oil advert all the time. Power Oil, now only 18 naira pere. A lot of us just know we're familiar with those adverts and all of that. And another one that is really very key is Genesis Deluxe, and we have a lot of fantastic gifts that is available. So if you have not been calling, peradventure today is your lucky day. Only just make a call and contribution to the show. We have also Federal Palace Hotel as part of the people celebrating with us. And these are brands that are actually making available wonderful, wonderful products for all our viewers and at the same time our guests in the studio. We'll be talking more about that as we go on the show. Let's talk about Nigeria very quickly. All right, gentlemen, welcome once again.
Thank you.
It is important, to probably, just do all of that because these are the people that are helping us pay the bills. Yes, exactly. And so it's really very strategic. Now, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has been presented with the 2018 report on ease of doing business by the country director of World Bank. And now the rating, we jumped up about 24 points, from 169th position to 145. And that is really very impressive. And do you think this report is a true reflection of where we are right now? Alexa.
Yeah, Dapo, thank you very much. And I want to congratulate Wazobia. I never even know it's just 3.
Yes.
And you've done this far, and I tell you, it's one of the stations that whenever you call me, no matter what I'm doing, I will always honor it because I know the quality in the station.
Thank
the
you
studio,
very much.
everything. I give kudos to the staff management, And in fact, every brain behind the production.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. No, so, and thanking those who are sponsored to make sure, and I sure
and of course, thank
I'm
you
going
our
to
viewers too.
win one of the prizes too. Anyway, so it's yes, coming from the World Bank. I think I will give a lot of credence to it because some of us who are in the financial world and who has interacted in terms of doing business can see some levels of improvement here and there, with especially the first step being the Corporate Affairs Commission. The Corporate Affairs Commission have so improved on their services to the point now that, which is really the first step in creating the business and integrating our company. You know, I do a lot of businesses with them. I know what it used to be. Procedurally, yes, but attitude of the staff still a long way to go. You have quality, and I'm saying this on national television, you have quality people maybe at the customer service environment. You have quality people who are ready to assist you, go the extra mile. But when you go to some departments, I have terrible experiences, especially with Corporate Affairs Commission in Lagos, the one at for the one in Lagos Island. I won't have mentioning him, but if anybody's let them go there and check it out. Terrible people in the registration department, headed by one lawyer, I won't call her name. Terrible people. But in terms of operationally, they have really improved on it. They have made it easier. You now get name search under 48 hours. You now get your certificate for registration of business name within 48 hours. And then limited liability, not max 1 week if their systems are working. So procedurally, they have done that. And then the tax office too has also improved on their services. You now have a situation whereby you can walk in and get staffs. I'm talking about operationally, yes, but in terms of the persons that manage those operations, there is still question mark, a lot to be done. And to some other areas, and then again, the investment tribunal is now up and running. For about 2 years, that tribunal was not in place. And so the confidence of people coming into the country, I mean, that is the tribunal, that is the place you go to if there's a dispute, if you have an issue in terms of your business operation within the country, you go to the investment tribunal. So it was not running for a while, but the Vice President inaugurated it, I think, about 4 or 5 months ago, and that tribunal is up and running now. And so people can go there for adjudication on issues, and it's a faster, it's a fast track court, and you get things done faster and easier. So if the World Bank is giving us this kind of report, I think I have credence to it, and that shows the level of hard work. People are understanding. I mean that those and the part of government are understanding that things need to change. We're not talking about change. We're not talking about our pocket getting bigger, but every facet of our lives begin to take a new direction. You know, if we have to jump 24 points,
I mean that's huge.
In just 2 years of a government and some work being done, I think it's a huge leap. So if these things, continue, sustained and continued, I'm sure we're getting the result of the work.
All right, Aban, let's consider some other sectors of the Nigerian economy. The power sector, let's look at our road infrastructure. Let's look at a couple of other sectors that should culminate into a very good, robust, effective, efficient working environment or business environment that are not in place. Do you think this report is justifiable?
Dakbo, whether the report is justifiable or not, I think it's not the issue.
Okay.
As of today, the report is already given by a recognized body, you know, so no one will sit up and fault the report because they have their parameters.
But we are Nigerians, and we know. That's why I'm asking, considering the sectors of the Nigerian economy.
Yes, I'm just starting from here. You know,
all right.
The issue with us remains. You know, my friend Alexis spoke about the change in this restructuring in operational. The operations of doing business. You know, this ease of doing business is a priority to this administration. That is according to them. And they went further to release some presidential orders and all that to make sure people, the ease of business is actually business doing in Nigeria is easy, you know. Now, our problem that I said remains is how Nigerians react or respond to government policies.
Okay.
Our response, our implementation of government policies is where that is the crux of the matter. That is our biggest problem in this country. You understand? Now, if you take sector by sector and the presidential order giving them, especially the specific order given to the aviation industry, you know?
Even the immigration.
Yeah.
48 hours, you must confirm if somebody can come in to do business.
If you go to the airport, for instance, the Murtala Mohammed Airport, International Airport in Lagos, and you hold that order from the presidency and watch their operations, you see a wide demarcation. Wide variation. Because the Nigerian, an average Nigerian, is stubborn.
The Nigerian factor is still there.
You understand? One, the only thing we consider as change is when we are getting fatter. When our pocket is getting, you know, we'll be happy with the change. You understand? Because by the time you tell all the federal agencies at the airport, you know, that used to have more than 5 points of checking to collapse into one, and you are now reducing the money they take home pay every day. You know,
so it is true.
They make sure they frustrate your policy.
Okay. So it is true that the change we're talking about, if it's not leaving change in our pockets, then it's not taking place.
The change is just, I mean, it's an order.
It's a cliche.
Given by the president, but it is not really yet effective.
Okay.
Because who monitors this change? Are they not the same Nigerians? For instance, there is a monitoring unit. Okay. Are they not the same Nigerians that will go there and say, my brother, do it the way you want to do it, I beg. So rather there's something in my pocket. Okay, that is the airport. Look at the Nigeria Port Authority, the major gateway to the economy, whether you like it or not. Now, you are giving orders for port operation for 24 hours. How will the port operate 24 hours where there is no entry and exit to the port? Okay. Do you know that on a particular day, you can spend 24 hours trying to access that port? You understand me? So and now I understand that the federal government is agreeing on principle with a private organization to reconstruct the road from the airport, I mean from the Nigeria Port Authority down through Oshodi, Oworosheki to the former toll gate. And for more than 6 months, this same company is still at a very, I mean, very small spot, very close to the port. And that has crippled traffic in and around Apapa.
True.
Do you know that to a particular container of goods that arrive port, clearing, for instance, according to the president order, clearing and other things may happen within 2 days. But to move that container out of that place will take you 3 weeks. So the infrastructure that will enable the government policy, when they are not in place, you give orders and restructure policies, and they will not water down the effect. The objective of such policy can never be met when the infrastructure is not there. You know, so why concession? Why giving? I mean, the reconstruction of a road to a private person, and this same company is a major tenant in the Nigeria Port Authority.
Well, if I can,
as a major tenant. The reconstruction of the part where they occupy, am I free to mention names here? You understand me? So this same company is giving the reconstruction of that part to another company to construct their pavement and all that. You understand? So this company is not a road construction company. You just construction a road
for the sake of our viewers.
A very intractable gridlock.
Can I come in here, Mr. Alba?
So there's no order that you will give for operation at the port that will meet that objective.
For the sake of our audience, because we're also educating them, if you also recall the federal government's policies, particularly on tax holidays, I mean, I don't want us to dwell so much on this, on tax holidays, and then trying to also, you know, show up our infrastructural deficit. That is the reason why for certain companies, you do not have to pay your tax for a certain period of time. But then what you have to do as an alternative, you have tax exemption, and then you will have to show up or take on the burden of you know, doing on some infrastructures. And remember, you do not do it in vacuum. You also will do it alongside the requisites Ministry of Works, they will give you specifications which you must comply with. So that vitiates your point about the company not being a construction company. You don't need to be a construction company.
This arrangement is superb. In fact, it's one of the best ways for Nigeria, in the Nigerian state to get so many things done, is to partner with individuals. But there is a caveat. Does this man have the capacity to do this role that we are giving him to do?
Capacity in what angle?
Or is this company only interested in the tax holidays?
No, capacity in what way?
Because the road you are giving this company to construct from the
company. But you don't need to.
They have not been able to even repair or reconstruct just 1 meter, 1 kilometer of that road for 6 months. And that has crippled activity.
I don't think it's because of the company not being a control or anything. Zenith Bank did this road. And today, it's been like for 5 years now.
No, I don't have a problem with the company
and today,
subletting this contract to companies that have capacity.
Done on that road. That is the road that where Zenith Bank has the head office. That's the social responsibility. Now, it depends on what that individual company feels he wants to do.
Okay.
And each time I come on TV, I said, love this country and do good for her. Because the more you are investing in this country, the more you are going to get out of the country. You cannot be taking and don't pay.
Is that a justification to giving projects to people
It's not a project. It's not a project. It's not a project to the company. Okay. It is for the company to do it. The company will not hire either Julius Berger or anybody else. But not the company. The company will not do it.
It's not hiring any construction company.
Do it. Except they want to do it on private, on direct labor. If they choose to do direct labor,
every day, no matter how blocked up road is,
if they choose direct labor, then they will employ an engineer that will do it and bring the money out. But it's not the company that will send the staff.
Okay, the company should bring money out and give this contract to.
But the problem is that you see, the problem is that those infrastructure deficits is a major setback.
Exactly.
Because if there's power is not stable, the road network is not there, security is still a challenge, they will constitute a clog in our total emancipation from backwardness to progress. And so even companies are coming, because Nigerian economy cannot be neglected. No matter where we are, we cannot be neglected. And I told you that Nigeria is a big market.
That is it.
And we are one of the most stupid spenders in terms of consumption. Nigerians are the most stupid consumers all over the world. Because anything you bring into this country, they will consume.
It will sell.
Yes, it will sell. So nobody can ignore the Nigerian market. So even in the harshest of time, go to Borno now, where everybody is running from Boko Haram, there are people there doing business. So it's a market. So but those other infrastructure, the government needs to step. And let me just add this: when that Suku bond came in, and government just gave that check straight to Ministry of Works, and said, do this. I tell you, the ripple effect that way you will not know. A lot of companies that were owing contract, they were owing people. Just paid up, and that is a stimulation. And some of them that were not near to site went back on site. I was coming now, Lagos, Lagos Bini, Shagam Bini. They are back at work. You know, so that is the effect of government bringing out money, raising money, and making sure that money goes into the system.
That leads us. That leads us into our major focus for this morning. And anyway, we'll leave Nigerians to decide if really and truly our business, environment, it's better than what it used to be, considering all that we have mentioned. I mean, that is not for me and Ishoma to decide. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari, on behalf of the executive arm of government, presented the appropriation bill to a joint session of the National Assembly, saying the projected expenditure would drive rapid economic recovery. He said at the session that with a benchmark of $45 per barrel at an exchange rate of 305 naira to $1 in 2018. I wouldn't know the justification of government to have arrived at this exchange rate. We will talk about it. Now, the budget would consolidate. And they actually termed the budget as the budget of consolidation on the achievement of previous budgets. Previous budgets to aggressively steer the economy to the path of steady growth. However, there are mixed feelings about budget being described as illogical or well thought out budget presented as the 2018 appropriation bill, saying there are no projects to show that previous budgets were implemented. Now, gentlemen, let's talk about, first of all, let us establish that the relationship, based on the foundation we already laid, to discussing this topic, we're looking at the executive and the legislative thought, or probably relationship about this appropriation bill. Do you think that we have a legislative arm of government and the executive arm of government that are going to work together for the common interest of the Nigerians on this budget?
Well, thank you very much. You've really put it very, very clearly. The issues about Nigerian budgeting system, I mean, Nigerians are now weary about budget when they hear budget. They like the speech. People were commending the president standing for 1 hour, 12 minutes to deliver a over 6,000 word speech and his menu. And people were just excited about that. But when the whole thing was done, they now start beginning to look at it. Yes, it has been a ritual. And for me, even as a financial analyst, as a chartered accountant, it's also been a ritual stone because, yes, well laid out thoughts, well laid out plans, which a budget contains. Thoughts of government, how to move sector by sector, and all. They are all there. But you made a very important question, and that is the synergy between the lawmaking and the implementation. Now, what has been the bane of our previous budgets? We've seen budgets, we have misrepresented budget in fact, we see budget as what we're going to spend.
Yeah.
And not what we intend to spend. And so that creates misfeeling first and foremost.
Correct.
And so you now begin to add minus all kinds of things that may not even be part and parcel of what the original intentions are. But going forward, I think, and somebody said, and I copied that, there should have been a back end, a behind the scene negotiation between the leadership of National Assembly and the executive. Because there's nothing hidden about budgeting and budget processes.
Exactly.
It's for the government. And the government, the executive is a particular party which also controls the legislation. So there will have been that back on, because Sarko was saying that this is the first time he's seen the budget, which ought not to have been. At the process of preparation, the thoughts and minds of everybody, at the back end, there should have been that discussions. Lobbying and discussion. Word, yeah. Let's even say discussions, where the two parties, look, this is what we need to do. This is how we need to go. This is the direction of this government. We're in the same government together. And so we need to walk along this line. It happens in the US. Even before the president brings out the budget, every member of Congress is aware, sees it, and knows their position and how to tackle issues. We cannot be living in secrecy and be doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result.
All right. Could it also be, because we need to go on a quick break now, could it also be because the government does not want to be indicted for the same thing previous governments were indicted for, meaning sharing monies to lobby to push for
hold on on your thoughts. We'll quickly go on a short break and join us. We'll be back soon. All right, we're back, and thanks for staying with us. It's still Crossfire with Dakwani Shoma. We have Alistair Wilcox in the studio and Avanavi, and we've been discussing about the 2018 appropriation bill. Will the relationship between the legislative arm of government and the executive allow for the elements of this budget to be passed? Will they do it in good time to ensure that we return to the January to December budget year so that proper monitoring of projects can be done within the confines of a particular year of budgeting? Anyway, that's what we're discussing on the show. Alistair, you were trying to say something before we went on that break.
It's not like lobbying. Lobbying does not only mean the orient to the old order, where Ghana must go.
You were trying to say that you don't expect the Senate president to have said, I am seeing this budget for the first time, and all of that.
They should have had that discussions behind the scene, because it's the same government, and say this is where we want to go.
Will you call it consultation before or lobbying?
Consultation.
Okay, consultation. Okay.
If you're talking about lobbying, then we're thinking of the old order, where Ghana must go. But there's no more Ghana must go that should go. Let me allow my colleague.
Okay, I disagree with when the Senate president said, this is the first time I'm seeing the budget, I think he was in order. You don't expect him to start telling Nigerians that this budget we have...
I have an idea.
I know what is in the budget before now. No. Officially, he was, giving us his official position that this is and it's expected. So having said that,
will it be wrong of the presidency or the executive arm of government to have had a consultation with the National Assembly leaders, with the National Assembly leaders telling them this is prior to the announcement that this is the figure we are looking at?
Well, this is supposed to be one government.
Okay.
You understand? And every serious leader of a government knows what to do. You consult.
Okay.
You lobby when need be. But lobbying in this part of the world is a different, it has a different meaning. Okay. You understand? So every serious leader of a government knows what to do. You lobby, it's not a one-man show. You understand? So I know that the consultation might have taken place behind the scene. Okay. For sure. I am very sure of that. You understand? But we don't expect them to own up and say, yeah, we have been consulting, we have lobbied people, we have done this, we have done that. So that is by the wayside.
Now the question for you, Avan, is that do you think we have enough time now that the President has presented the appropriation bill to the joint section? Do you think that we have enough time to return to the January to December budget year as envisaged by the executive arm of government?
If the legislature, the members of National Assembly,
yes,
if we have serious-minded people that work around the clock, I understand that budget is not just one paper. It's around more than 1,000 pages in some instances. You understand? So it is not a thing. We have committees, various committees that will handle each part of the budget.
So it makes it simpler. It breaks it into simpler.
No matter the disagreement between the executive and legislature, 1.5 months is enough for them to trash every conflict.
Mr. Alvan,
you understand? But one
considering
thing,
that we have holidays coming.
One thing. See, government business knows no holiday.
Good.
Serious, even private businesses
knows no holiday.
I work on Christmas Day.
Mr. Alban, we need to understand something here, please. When you use the word if, I mean, it's like you're talking in the air. But judging also, this is 2 years down the line, judging from the individuals we have seen over time, do they strike you as serious individuals that would take the business of Nigeria seriously?
I was coming to that, to the reality.
So
I'm painting a scenario. That is how it's supposed to be.
Okay.
You understand? But then, it is unfortunate that the majority of people we have at National Assembly, with due respect to some of them, majority of them are jokers. In fact, some of them don't even appreciate the reason they are there.
Will it be about appreciate or not knowing
they don't know. They don't know their responsibilities. They don't know. You understand? Now, this is the government that has not even implemented the 2017 budget up to 30%. They haven't. If we agree that we must return for efficiency and accountability purpose to return to that period of January to December budgeting, it's a difficult thing. But no matter how difficult a thing is, when you are serious and approach it with all seriousness and zeal, it is done. You understand me? But I know what Nigerians are. Just between now and few days, when the Senate or National Assembly shall start consideration of the budget, there will be a single issue whereby when the Senate will not say they raise an objection, that issue will become a national discourse. And the Senate will be distracted. And the executive will now say, the Senate are holding on to the budget. And the people will now say, so that
so you think something deliberate?
That it's not deliberate. It's as if the thing is in our DNA. So you now see the executive trying to blame the legislature. The legislature is trying to blame the people. The people blame, that blame game.
And then to go back and forth.
Before you know it, they said Christmas.
So
holiday.
you think that
the leaders are holiday-loving leaders.
Okay.
They love holiday more than their job.
Let's take comment from
If I should take that too, I think we have one of the indolent National Assembly.
The 8th Assembly?
Anywhere in the world. We have one of the most indolent, like you said, they don't appreciate, they just have this tonga, I'm a senator, I'm a honorable member. And that is just what, but the responsibility attached to those offices is lost on majority of them. Who are those? Some of them are those on retirement, they see it as the old people's home, retirement home. And so the work rate,
like former governors,
all the former governors,
everybody,
and so the work rate, and so their work rate. Look, are you going to compare some of them with people like McCain and the other senators in the United States that they don't know what's called Christmas? Oh. They don't know what is called Saturday or Sunday? Yeah. They're in the Congress. Look, issues that need to be trashed out. Now, if we have a serious and dedicated National Assembly, and like I said, with due respect to some vibrant ones, but for which the action of the other ones are are bringing down, because they will soon declare holiday. 6 weeks, and they will just be gone. That's nothing.
You can imagine taking 6 weeks out of what is remaining.
And so much. 6 weeks remaining in the year. You sit 3 times in a week. 3 times in a week. 184 days in a year. How many of them attend plenaries? And when we have such important issues, and the president has said it too, they should even be the one that will be urging the president. Every year we roll over budgets. Every year we roll over budgets. Because what they would do is to roll over this to 2020, whenever that one is signed. Every year roll over, and that is why the budget keep increasing. Because most of the projects that are not yet executed in this other budget, they will just put it there. Not because it is a new project, but it's a continuation of, and that's why the size keep expanding. Okay. But the president will keep doing. So it behoves on the National Assembly, the Senate, the House of Reps too. And again, this issue of, in your defense, every office will come and defend. I don't understand it. Because in budgeting defense, you will have done the departmental defense, go to the ministry
you would have come up with values.
Then you come up, then the minister should come and defend the entire ministry. He can come with teams from all his parastatals and everything, so that if questions arose on those individual parastatals, they can answer. You take a whole day for a ministry. And all of them, all his parastatals under that ministry, if it's Minister of Transport, all of them come at the same time. And you try, if it takes you 2 days, not the one that the Minister of Transport will come itself and do his own. Then the NASA will now come. Then NNPC will now come. No, I'm not talking about MDS. Then MPA will now come. Then National Maritime issue will now. Every one of them comes one by one. That is the cause of delay. But if it's consolidated, the minister is the one that's under the ministry, and these MDs are all under him. Yeah. They all come together in one full sweep. And then if there's any need for subcommittees, subcommittees that are still working, those ones will now handle the little ones. And like he said, 6 weeks.
Okay, why are we? Let's look at this. Let's look at this, gentlemen. The Minister for Finance was at the National Assembly to let them know that the executive has concluded to make the budget to run between January and December. Yeah. And at that same meeting, it was very clear, and she mentioned it, that the appropriation bill will get to the National Assembly on or before October 1st. And it didn't. It just got to the National Assembly a few days ago. Yeah. Now, having established that, how come we seems to be seeing the legislatures, or the legislative arm of government as a bottleneck to passing this bill? How come we're saying that? We seem to be losing sight of the fact that the executive are submitting this budget even late to the National Assembly.
I agree with that one. I agree to a large extent. Sorry. But you see, the problem about responsibility is the fact that you do not use the weakness of the other chain to also create your own weaknesses.
Oh, okay.
Now, what will cause the delay? The executive, yes, they have short time by 6 weeks or thereabout, or 4 weeks or thereabout. But what will cause the delay? These guys will shut down until they are going on recess. And they were coming back in January. Now, as this was planned for yesterday, I expected that by now they will all have copies. By Monday, they will invite Minister of Defense. This committee is working. That committee is working. They can suspend plenary sections and say, for now, no plenaries till this time around. This is something that needs to be addressed. So that the executive, so even if you get late, you're not January 1, by at least the end of January, you have concluded, and every agreement has been looked into and signed off, and we can even start operating from February. Then we know that yes, we're making progress. Not the one that will stay till June. Yeah. And if that starts saying executive is not implementing 10% or 15%.
Okay, and then why the rush? When 2017 implementation is still ongoing, why the rush anyway?
The rush is occasioned by the determination of the government to return our budgeting period to
January
normal
to
period.
December.
You understand? So ordinarily, there would not be any need for any rush if we want the status quo to remain. Having said that, let me bring out this issue of the SS crude account that the Senate have passed a resolution calling on the executive to scrap. I think I foresee a conflict. You understand me? Because what is a budget is just a mere estimate, you know. In fact, as Nigerians, we should be more concerned about the revenue side of the budget.
Good.
But this is
I'm an accountant.
Thank you, my brother.
That is more important.
Yes.
But it is funny that we are all concerned about the
expenditure aspect.
How much is earmarked for this? How much is earmarked? No. We should be concerned about how much is coming from oil, how much is coming from agriculture, how much is coming from from transportation, how much is coming from aviation. We should be interested in that. You understand me? But it is funny that where our attention is in the expenditure angle. Now, the Senate have passed a resolution calling on the federal government to scrap the SS crude account. SS crude account is a product of the difference between the benchmark that was recognized in the budget and the actual price in the international market. So where would that SS go to?
Okay.
Where will it go to?
And this is for balance.
Rather than this Senate to make it constitutional, because they are lazy, they want that SS program to be scrapped. No, but
that's your opinion.
You can make it constitutional. You can pass a law to that effect.
Okay.
You know, and make sure you pass watertight laws on how it should be administered. It's better than scrapping. We are too used to scrapping, but we are lazy. Scrap this, scrap that. No, rather than scrap, look at the merit. You understand me? Look at the advantages and see how how you can expand the advantages while trying to minimize these disadvantages.
Okay, let's quickly take this call from Warri. Hello, good morning, Thompson.
Oh, good morning, Chief Dapo, my co-pilot.
How are you today?
Good morning.
Good morning. No.
Good morning, brother.
Good. Fine. The budget was okay to be.
Okay.
Understand. But the only thing we are going to look in what, please, this legislative. In fact, do you know that I don't like seeing their faces? I'm serious. Do you know why? Because you will see a budget. In fact, I want them to, I read the book. If you don't dress smart within the 3 first working weeks, I don't think you're going to get something good. They should stop wearing agbada on Tuesday, Wednesday. You know, they only work on Tuesday. They don't work on Friday, neither they work on Monday. Then out of 365 days, they only work for 180 days. At the end, 29 minutes. In fact, see, but this really pains. Whenever if we could get that part from Professor Isage, you only make me just think, divide to know the daily means of each and every one. That says we need this very locality.
All right, Samson.
Check it now.
Samson, I have a question for you, a very quick one. Do you think that the relationship between the legislative arm of government and the executive is good enough to come up with a quick resolve on the 2018 bill?
Do you know why? Do you know why I don't have much ethic with executive?
Okay.
I didn't elected Fashola or Mr. Lai Mohammed. It was government appointee. They can appoint you that to be Minister of Communication. That one didn't concern me. It's because President, if I have anything against you, I'll take it to the President himself. But all these legislatures, we are the one who voted for them. I could imagine I have to travel down to Lagos, come and vote. I spend my time to vote them in. So the issue of delay of budget, see, anything like party this time around, that we are going straight to their house, chamber, flush them out. That's not like party. If they need anything, they should work one in one and get everything. At the end of the day now, they pass this in November. Watch when I'm going to start implementing.
All right, Samson. When next you are in Lagos, we have an anniversary gift for you from Minimi Chin Chin, from Indomie, and a few other packs, Hypo. So the next time you're in Lagos, please visit us at 267A Etim E and Crescent, Victoria Island, and we have something good for you.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen. Now, we seems to have an idea of where this is taking us to. I thought that we'll be able to go into the elements of the budget itself, you know, but we can scratch the surface.
Let me just scratch a quick one.
We can scratch the surface.
Yes, the budget is not a bad budget because if you look at it, I'm delighted about the inflation rate that the budget is doing now. I mean, coming down from about 19% to about 12 point something percent. If they can achieve that and a growth of 2 point something percent.
Yeah, but then the recurrent expenditure.
I'm coming. That means we are going somewhere. If you look at that's the on the screen there. Yes. It's covered that debt servicing alone. That's where I have an issue.
Debt servicing is 2.01 trillion.
That is we are heavily geared in terms of servicing our debts. Which
you don't want to consider the recurrent expense.
No, the recurrent is 3.49 trillion. Of which I'm putting salaries and they're not all salaries.
I thought they are government. I thought this government wants to really.
They are not salaries alone. They are salaries and pensions.
Yes.
And then in government accounting, like I was arguing with somebody, in government accounting, assets are recurrent. Fixed assets are recurrent.
Okay.
So all the cars, the equipment that will be used in day-to-day running, they are all into recurrent. But again, let's also get one thing that I know that will be very, very clear that will be executed fully is the salary component. And if the government has put its wage bill at about 130, 140 billion per month, that's federal government wage bill of all its agencies, army, police, everything, at about 140 billion. So you are talking about 1.6 trillion that component as salaries.
Okay.
The remainder is running cost, which may or may not be executed, be spent. Okay, so let's not fret, and I like what my brother said, let's not fret over these figures. They are estimates.
Okay.
And part of them is the rollover of previous years, because if somebody has asked for 3 cars, and as at now he hasn't gotten it, he will still put it, okay, in the new budget. So if we're able to get this budget passed on time, and implement those that are genuinely needed to be implemented, and then those that are taken off the bill, then we know that something budget the size might going to come down. For instance,
let's quickly take this call.
A quick one.
Okay.
Just look at the Halubala Badaso Rock Clinic.
Exactly.
That 3 billion was budgeted. Meanwhile, what was released to the last 4 or 5 years is less than 1 billion.
All right, let's take Muritala's. Let's really take this Muritala's call. Hello, good morning, Muritala.
Hello, good morning.
First of all, wish us happy anniversary. Happy
anniversary.
3rd year anniversary, yes.
Thank you, Muritala.
All right, let's take your comment.
Okay, I want to say you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I want to say a very big thank you for bringing Alex Wake Up.
Thank you very much.
I'm a regular listener to him on other channels.
All right, good.
So, but going back to the budget issue, I would say the National Assembly are not being fair to the Nigerians for not discovering for now giving us their own estimate budget of the National Assembly for the year. We are still shredding a lot of things together there. They have not disclosed the actual amount they are budgeted for their own offices. Imagine you Senate President telling the President, the Buhari that he should try to come and lobby for them to have a very good synergy to work in, meaning that he should come and bribe them. The statement is very, very ridiculous. For him to be saying that on a national TV on that day that President, if they want to have a very good, quick budget, President Buhari should come and lobby with the Senate. Ordinarily, they have to lobby, but he should not come out to say it publicly.
All right, Muritala, we have a 3rd year anniversary celebration gift for you. Since you are in Lagos, all you need to do is to come to our office in 267 ATV Yankrin Said, Victoria Island. We have a beautiful package for you from Indomie, from IPO, Mini-Me Chin Chin. We have a ticket for you, a movie ticket for you. All you need to do, just come to the office, ask for Ishoma Againe or Dapo Banjo.
And please we'll reach out to you. With a means of identification so we can know that you're the one.
All right, well, gentlemen, we don't have much time to go. I need to quickly take your thought. What do you see? Where do you see Nigeria based on this budget? Where do you see us in 2018? You have just 10 seconds.
Yes, I am not one Nigerians that get excited over budget. You remember the excitement and the expectation
about
2017
budget, yes.
2016, that was where the excitement. People felt when the budget is passed, the money will be apportioned and distributed in our pockets. So I don't get agitated.
All right.
But
so your expectation is not
I expect
the
government to actually, whatever they have achieved for 2017, to actually consolidate.
Okay.
Let that consolidation...
So it should truly be a budget of consolidation.
Let it not end up in private pocket consolidation.
All right, what about you, Alex?
I mean, I along with him. Let there be that synergy, that hard work. Okay. And I want to keep warning those that are having the real opportunity and privilege of having this president appoint them to positions. To please please remember that the man that appoints you is one man that has integrity. And his integrity should not be diminished by your action or inaction. Work for the better of this country and let us have a better country.
Quick one. Ishama, quick one. Thank you.
So, as it is right now, what can we say? Thank you so much for being a part of the show. God bless Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. Lester. Thank you, Mr. Albert.
Always remember from me, budget is not what you will spend, but budget is what you plan to spend.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that is what the government plan to spend. We'll be back.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love her.